What's up, guys? It's Roadbloc here with Roadbloc at Man of War Harley. Today we have special guest Rocco Besednjak from Camp Hero. How you doing today, Rocco?
I'm doing great. Appreciate it.
Doing pretty great today. What you got going on today, man? You said you had a doctor's appointment?
Yeah, doctor's appointment this morning. Then I'm heading down to camp after this. We have about 20 people coming down tomorrow for one of our nature immersion courses.
Okay. So you're going down to Camp Hero.
Correct. Yep.
You want to explain to us about what Camp Hero is?
Exactly. Yeah, I'll tell the story and how Camp Hero came about and everything.
Okay.
So I was in the Navy. I went to the Navy right after high school. Got hurt. Medically retired from there when I was 22. I did some security jobs, worked at the gates of Fort Knox for a while,
That's pretty cool.
and then became a cop in 2009.
Where was you a cop at?
I was in Shepherdsville, just south of Louisville.
Yeah.
Yep. So, very proactive. Loved working dope cases. Loved interacting with the kids out there, because you see a lot of these kids in, say, these Section 8 apartments, trailer parks, stuff like that. A lot of them are just completely surrounded by drugs. Their whole families are involved in crime and drugs, and they really have they have like no chance unless they have some kind of positive influence in their life. So I tried to be that positive influence. I'd go through there and, I'd play basketball with them, play football.
You've got a bunch of pictures on your Facebook where you do that, right?
Oh yeah.
I see a lot of posts and stuff where you're out interacting with kids.
And then I'd drive through these trailer parks. Kids come running up to my car. They're like, Rocco, 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 and I'd hang out with them and stuff. And and I'm actually friends with a lot of them now. They're adults that check on me and stuff. Well, since I was very proactive in drugs and knew a lot where all the drug dealers and stuff hung out. July 3rd, 2016, I was watching a drug house and a vehicle left it. I ran the plates and it showed the driver had a suspended driver's license. She had pulled into a gas station and I pulled in right behind her. And when she got out, I got out and I told her, the reason I stopped you is you have a suspended license. The passenger didn't have a good license at all. And I already had a backup en route. They heard me call it on the radio, and I'm a shit magnet, so they knew I was getting into something. So they automatically started heading my way. So when they got there, they kept an eye on them. I went back to my car. The driver, she started acting real nervous and shady. So the backup guy, he went and got her keys from her, and he put them on top of the roof of the car. So while I was running, I come to find out she had 4 felony warrants.
Oh, wow.
For burglaries, fleeing police.
Fleeing police.
Yeah, she was running from the police. She had priors for assault on a police officer, and she had new warrants for trying to run over an ex-boyfriend.
A dangerous woman.
Exactly. So I went out there, went up to her car, opened up the door, told her to get out. She got up and grabbed the keys off the roof of the car, and then I bent over, tried to get the keys out of her hand, and she was able to get the keys in the ignition, got it started and floored it, and I was stuck between her and the steering wheel with the door open. She dragged me about 50 feet, made a right-hand turn. I rolled out, hit the curb with my neck and upper back, and she ran over my legs. I was pissed off. This was about quarter to midnight. It was raining, and I jumped up, ran to my car just on adrenaline.
And your legs was broken.
Yeah, no, they weren't broke. I mean, they were bruised, but I mean, I'd been dragged and hit.
Did you catch that fly? Oh, I thought you caught
it. Yeah, I thought I almost did. But so I went back to my car, went after her about a mile and a half down the road. My neck and back started tightening up, so I went ahead and stopped. One good thing is I knew who she was, and had EMS come get me. We went to the hospital, and they thought I just had a neck and back strain. They did MRI, or they did X-rays and CTs and stuff. They didn't do an MRI then. They told me to follow up with a work comp doctor and take the rest of the week off. So I took the rest of the week off. My buddy had actually ended up catching her 2 days later in Louisville. And he actually texted me when I was in the hospital, a state trooper.
Did she fall on the way to jail?
Oh, yeah, she resisted and fought. So, but she, he told me when I was in the hospital, he texted me and said, yeah, don't worry, I'll find that bitch. He did. He found her. He drug her out of a closet.
Drug her out of a closet.
Yep. So he was able to they got a phone number for her, and they pinged her phone, and they ended up finding the vehicle that they had stolen, another vehicle, and so they looked at those apartment complex. And they figured out which
Oh wow!
apartment it was, and ended up getting her.
By pinging her phone.
Yep.
So if you're out there doing crime, don't take your phone with you. No.
But so uh, I went back to work. I was doing physical therapy twice a week. After about a month, my neck started hurting more because all the muscles and stuff
Right.
started loosening up. So they did an MRI, and come to find out I had 4 herniated discs in my neck and 4 in my lower back. So they put me off work. And with every other injury my whole life, it was like, you get hurt, you heal up, and you go back to close to normal as possible. So I thought this was going to be the same way. I went to a neurosurgeon. He decided to go ahead and fuse the worst one in my neck, and we did that. And here I thought I was going to heal up and go back to work. Actually, things started getting worse, and he told me I had to put in for a medical retirement again.
Oh man.
So the thing, with spinal injuries, they don't really get better. They
No.
eventually get worse. And so that's when, depression kicked in, PTSD, everything. I was suicidal. I was looking up ways to try to commit suicide where it looked like an accident so my kids could still get life insurance.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I no longer had a purpose, no longer had an identity.
You couldn't work. You couldn't hardly, get around. Couldn't do anything.
No,
it was depressing.
Yeah, and I knew it was just going to keep getting worse, so I thought it was going to be a burden.
Yeah.
And well, I was looking for any type of mental health resources for first responders, and there was absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I relied back on my military mental health because I didn't want to just go talk to a regular civilian.
Right.
And I got on some meds, got into therapy. But, my whole life, dealing with the depression, I still regressed from everything that I loved. For a year or so, I never even went, hunting or fishing or anything. And I grew up in the outdoors.
It was just crippling.
Just stayed inside and, deal with not only physical issues, but the mental issues because they feed on each other.
Yeah.
The lady that ran me over, she got 40 years in prison. And she got to do 20 before she was eligible for parole. She was like a 4-time convicted felon. And I retired. Actually, that next day was the first day of my retirement. And
once she got convicted, you retired after that?
Yeah, it just happened that her sentencing date was the day before I retired. So, there was, no job, can't work, and still dealing with, spinal issues. Well, I started forcing myself to get back out in the outdoors, and I realized how beneficial it was being out in nature for my mental health.
Yeah.
I was part of a bunch of different wounded officer groups and on Facebook.
What are some of those?
So there was one group called Officer Down, We Survived. So it was a bunch of pretty much groups where these people who were wounded officers and they got put off work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just pretty much relied on each other for peer support. And when I heard their stories, and it was pretty much identical to mine. Not as in, where I got hurt and stuff, but dealing with the agency not even checking on me, not having any of that support, no one giving me any type of resources or say, hey, if you need to go talk to someone, here's you can go talk to, and all this other stuff. There was absolutely nothing. And it was the same with everyone else.
Yeah.
That just seemed to be normal. Well, I started bringing these other people out here to Kentucky and going out hunting, fishing stuff with me, and
just taking trips and having a blast.
Yeah.
Connecting with each other, telling each other your stories and stuff.
Exactly. And so in 2019, I was able to buy 160 acres in Jackson County,
it's a nice
southeast
place.
of here. And we started Camp Hero right away. Started hosting vets and first responders out there. And it's absolutely just grown from there. So now what we do is, we provide mental health support through the outdoors for vets and first responders. And then on top of that, we also do mentoring for at-risk youth through the outdoors. Because I thought that was going to be, when I was policing, I really made a big effort to try to help the kids that really had no chance.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we'll work with other organizations that do work with at-risk youth, like Lexington Leadership Foundation, their Urban Impact. We've had fishing events and stuff with them.
I've seen a lot of those. Those kids look really happy out there holding the fish up and
Oh
just
yeah,
being out in the nature and stuff.
and we had 32 kids there. None of them had ever fished before in their life.
Ever.
None of them. Yeah, no one has ever. And so it was great.
Was any of them? Will you tie that? You put the worm on for me?
Oh, everyone was. I mean, and we actually had. I teamed up with UK Athletics, and we had UK football players out there.
I bet that was pretty cool.
Were actually fishing with them.
Yeah.
And some of them were big kids, never been fishing before, so they wouldn't touch the fish or the bait. So,
or the bait.
Yeah, so it was fun, but it's good to see these kids being able to do something outside of their the norm life that they see.
Yeah.
And one thing that really hit me though was one little girl. She was about 12. I gave them all brand new rods, reel, tackle, and everything to take home with them. And she put her rod down. I was like, no, you can take it home with you. She's like, well, if I just take it home, my mom will throw it away anyway. And I'm just like, it's sad when you try to give them some kind of, something else to do in their life, some kind of other option, and they already know that they won't be able to participate or do anything in that because of the household they live in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, now, I mean, not only do we do stuff there in Jackson County, where we now have 3,200 acres total that we own and lease. But we also do road trips. We take people down to Florida to hog hunt and gator hunt.
You just got back from Colorado or Wyoming or somewhere like that? You want to elk hunt?
Yep. Well, Colorado and Wyoming, we went up there. We went fly fishing.
Fly fishing. That's right. That's right. And you had never been fly fishing before, right?
No. Yeah. Never have. And how that came about is there's an organization out there called Snake River Outfitters, and I think they have about 150,000 acres.
That's a lot of land
that they guide and stuff on. And they invited us last year to bring some people out to elk hunt for a cow elk. And so we had 3 go out there, and all 3 killed elk. And I had reached out to the guy there, and I asked him, I said, hey, in the off season, because he let those hunters go fishing too, I said, have you ever thought about having people come out and fish? And he said, no, that's a great idea. So I said, here's what we're going to do is bring some people out. One of them, he was a Lexington police officer, and he's also a Army vet, and he's actually he's a good fly fisherman. He's actually a fishing guide here in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to bring him out and 4 other people, and we're going to go ahead and get all brand new rods for everything. That way he can teach them how to fish, and get to go out there and use these rods and go out there and catch some fish. And he's like, yeah, that's a great idea. So that's what we did, and it was fun. It's fly fishing. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it is challenging just to get
the rhythm.
Yeah, just to get your bait where you want it to go. I mean, just that's an accomplishment in itself, and then you catch a fish on it too. Then it's like, I mean,
you got that 6 foot, 7 foot long rod, and it's real flimsy.
Oh yeah, and it was an 8.5 foot rod, and it's super flimsy, and and then we had sagebrush behind us, so you back casting and getting caught in the sagebrush, or just wrapped around the end of your rod. But it was great. We had a great time out there.
Well, did you catch anything?
Oh yeah, we caught all kinds of rainbow trout and tiger trout.
Okay.
So yeah, it was great. I mean, it was my arms hurt from casting so much.
Did you get to eat any of those fish?
No, we threw them all back. Yeah, they were all. We only caught one stream one. The rest of them were in high mountain lakes.
Okay.
So we didn't want to mess with the population there in those lakes.
I got you.
So we threw them all back, took pictures and threw them all back.
Still pretty
got
neat.
Video of everything. Yeah, it was really good. This November, I'm going and there's a 87-year-old Vietnam vet.
87.
He's a Marine vet, and he's a double amputee just below his knees. So he's got about that much of his leg below his knees, and he's from southern Mississippi. He's named JD. And JD's been coming up to camp for the last 3 years to turkey hunt.
Okay.
And
that's in the spring, right? Or no?
Correct.
Fall.
Yep.
Fall, spring.
It's in the spring. Yeah. And so this year we actually have 2 bull elk rifle tags for Arizona. And I'm going to take one, and we're going to bring him and try to get him a bull elk.
That would be pretty cool.
Out there in Arizona.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be pretty good. I kind of surprised him with it. I got a hold of his son. I said, we got a tag and I want to bring him out here, you
Yeah.
know? And, so yeah, so JD, it's crazy because, JD, how he is, he calls and checks on me.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm just seeing how you're doing. I knew you weren't feeling good that one day. And, because, in addition to that one surgery, I've had 10 total spinal surgeries.
You just had a surgery.
I did. Yeah. That was my 10th one. So I've had 10 spinal surgeries since 2016.
Yeah. And then you literally just had the staples taken out before this podcast.
I did. Yeah. Yep. So, so I deal with a lot of physical stuff. Still deal with mental stuff that goes with it. Because you have a bad physical day, you have a bad mental day.
Mental day. And I have mental days. And, I've got some issues with my hip and stuff like that and stuff. But like, it's mental health just gets overlooked, and it's rough on people sometimes.
Absolutely.
And like, you may look fine and stuff doing your day-to-day activities, but like when you get home and you sit down and you just start thinking about stuff, that's when it all starts weighing on you.
Yeah.
It gets hard.
And that's, it's really hard when you stay inside, because when you stay inside those walls, you get inside your head.
Yeah.
That's why we push it. They're actually, Yale did a study that 120 minutes out in nature in a week actually changes the chemical balance in your brain.
Really?
It makes you have less anxiety, improves the PTSD, depression, everything else. And 120 minutes is a hard number. So anything less than that, they found really had no
It's just 2
benefit.
hours.
Yeah, just 2 hours out of the whole week.
Go sit on your porch.
Just being outside, out in nature, just observing.
Yeah.
That's where humans aren't.
That's where we come from,
Yeah,
man. We're not meant to be in a house cooped up and stuff.
Or staying in a city and not being out in nature. That's why most people who are depressed are in the concrete jungle. They don't get to go out there and relax and decompress and be out and get that. I call it outdoor therapy.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We in the Harley world call it wind therapy. So we get out on the bikes and we just ride and we go places and stuff. And I find myself, like, on my days off, if I don't have a schedule or something to do, if I find myself just laying in bed, I get depressed and I just fall into a slump. So I usually try to make myself get up and do something on my days off, go out and ride my motorcycle, or have a plan for that day. If not, it's just going to be a bad day.
Yeah, and that's what it. And that's just how it happens. You get stuck inside and you're not busy, then you get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And like with me, I'll have good days and I'll go out there and do what I want. And then if I wake up and I'm having a bad day, then it's like a snap back to reality. But
Right.
well, I'm really messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, feel good some days, but other days it's like, no, this is how you are the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And the motivation that gets me through the bad days is knowing there's always going to be good days.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, I said, you don't know you have good days unless you have bad ones to compare them to. So, and then, I try to talk to as many people as I can about my mental health. I'm very open about how I was suicidal and everything else. And, I'm just a big advocate for the mental health. Mental health needs to be treated like physical health. You go to about your physical health, they want you to eat right. They want you to exercise. They want you to do all that. With mental health,
you can't do that sometimes. Like, sometimes you just get in a slump. Like, you don't want to eat. Like, you just don't feel like doing that. You just forget to do that. You just blah.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
And then one good thing, mental health, physical health go hand in hand. So like, with the mental health, a lot of people who deal with PTSD, you'll see them do drugs or alcohol or gamble or,
some kind of outlet.
Any type of risky behavior, because it creates those endorphins. And those endorphins help block out what the underlying issue is. But a way to also get those endorphins in a positive way is exercise. Exercise makes your body release endorphins, makes you feel better. And
that's probably hard for you to exercise, though, right?
Yeah. Well, at first, the thing that saved my life is I was big to begin with. So I was 6'1", 245 with like a 34-inch waist, when I got hurt.
Yeah.
And the doctor actually told me, he said, if I didn't have the muscle mass in my upper back and neck that I did, he said I would either had a broken neck and paralyzed from the neck down, or I'd have been dead. Um, and then they told me I wasn't able to lift again.
You
And
said it.
then
Did it? You said it decapitated you internally.
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
This must have
no,
been somebody else. I
yeah,
talked to somebody and they said it's like it. I forget what it was. It
busted.
split their neck from their spine or
Oh,
something like that.
that's horrible.
They got in an accident, yeah, and they survived. I thought it was you. It may have been somebody else I
Yeah,
was talking to.
but yeah. So I didn't think I'd ever be able to go to the gym again. Then in 2023, I had a lumbar fusion. I think that was like my seventh or eighth surgery. But I was going to PT afterwards, and I was on the cable machine there at PT, and we were working on some core exercises. And I told her, I said, man, I'd really love to be able to do some tricep push down or tricep push downs sometime. And she said, well, then do them. I was like, are you serious? And say, do them. So I started doing them, and tears just started running down my
Oh man,
face because I never thought I'd be able to do it again. She's like, here's what I want you to do. She said, I want you to, what we're gonna do is get your core work and get that stable, and then I want you to go get a gym membership and start going to the gym and build up the muscles around your injured areas. And I was like, that was like the
the
biggest
best.
shock. That was like, I thought that part of me was gone.
Yeah,
I never thought I'd be able to do that again. So I swear, the first day I went back to the gym, I spent like 3.5 hours in
wore
there.
yourself
I
out.
tried to do everything because I just missed it
You
so
just wanted to
much.
do it.
Yeah, and then so I started going, you know, so much, and then when you start seeing the change, and the result of your hard work, I mean, then that boosts your mental health too, So um, I actually started getting, a lot of my friends and stuff back in the gym once I got in there, and not only improve them physically, but also mentally
Yeah,
also. So I try to make that a big part of my my life now. Now that I'm able to go back in the gym, and then but I'm constantly having surgeries, or tearing my bicep like I did, and but I always try to get back, as quick as I can,
yeah.
get back in the gym, and or at least get in the outdoors and do something because you can't just sit there, and then I mean, it's good to have, um, good mental health providers. You can't just rely on the outdoors too. You got to have some kind of professional, to be able to rely on too, because there's a lot of different techniques and a lot of different therapies and a lot of different stuff that can really help you. And I hear people be like, "Oh no, therapy doesn't work," and I was like, "Well, how many times you go? Oh, I just went a couple
Yeah,
times." Well, no, that just means that therapist didn't work. Not
right.
all therapists are all the same. Not all therapists do it the same way. You need to find one that best fits you. So if you go to therapy for one or two times, you're like, I'm just not
Not
getting it.
not feeling a
Move on
therapist.
to the next one.
Yeah, and that
And
could be the aggravating part because I've done it myself before. I had a pretty bad spat with mental health when I was younger.
mhm,
Same thing with you. I tried to kill myself and stuff. And I went to therapists and stuff, and it seemed like every other month I had a different therapist.
mhm,
It's just like I'd go tell my story, and I'd have to go to another one because that guy
yeah,
left the practice or something, and it got old, and I
right,
just ended up stopped
yeah.
going. You know,
There's a actually, I just went to recently been going to Roaring Brook. Um, when the guy actually reached out to me because he wanted to collaborate because they do a lot of work with first responders and
yeah,
the police department and wanted to collaborate. And we were talking, and I was talking about some of the issues I deal with, and he's like, "Come in here, let's try some stuff."
yeah,
And I started I did a thing. It's called accelerated reprocessing therapy. So what you do is you think of something that like bother you. Mine was the thing that bothered me and I was having issues with is I held myself to an unreasonable standard. And if I didn't reach that standard, I was very hard on myself.
mm,
I was very self critical. And then if someone asked me, like if I did something, like my wife asked, be like, "Hey, did you do this?" And she's not asking in a, bad way or anything. She was asking if I did something. I automatically think of it as that someone being critical of me, of saying, that I didn't do it because I was lazy or something. That's just how I thought. And so I was dealing with that, just being hard on myself all the time. So I was like, okay, I want to address that first. So what he did is you put these two little, I don't know, like paddle things in your hand, and it vibrates
Yeah.
one side, then the other side, one side, the other side. So he goes, and then the therapist goes through a script, tells you to pretty much, think of how, a time when you're going through that, and then, then you can actually use, your eyes closed, and you're thinking about it, and then, okay, he's like, okay, stop. How do you feel? And I actually felt like nauseated, because I felt like I was hard on myself. And then he tells you, okay, now think you're like in a warm shower and just you're relaxing and get that away. So I did, and then he had told me, he's like, okay, now you're gonna look at it like you're watching it in a movie. This scenario, you're watching a movie, and eventually, what you do is you're watching it, and then you're changing the outcome, and you're changing the movie, and then at the very end. Um, so I only had one of these sessions, and it completely got rid of all that.
Yeah.
Like it completely changed it. I not
What's that, an
self
hour or
critical.
so? You
Yeah, it
just,
took about an hour,
yeah.
and he says anywhere from 1 to 5 sessions can get rid of any of that. And he was very critical of it for like 3 or 4 years. Finally, he tried it himself, and he said it completely changed his life. He was able to get over something that's been bothering him his
Yeah.
whole life. Um, and there's also one of the owners was talking about an issue he had, and he did it once, completely changed his life. Never had to worry about it again.
And what's this called again?
It's called ART. It's accelerated reprocessing therapy
And where can you do that at?
at Roaring Brook.
Roaring Brook.
Roaring Brook here in Kentucky. They actually they do stuff for substance abuse, all that other stuff, but they have mental health there too.
If you don't care, put that up there for us. Roaring Brook Mental Health. If you guys need anything like that, what Rocco's been talking about, feel free to reach out to those people. They can probably
Yeah,
help you out.
and it's like I never. I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm really skeptical,
Yeah.
But when I did it, and from the beginning, when I first thought about it, going through that issue and how I felt to the very end of that session, to me, it was like it had no emotional effect. I lost all emotional attachment
Yeah.
to that situation, and I mean, I'd recommend that to anyone dealing with PTSD or depression or whatever. And so there's a thing called EMDR, which is eye movement uh, processing or programming and reprocessing. It does kind of the same thing, except you follow something with your eyes. So what you're doing is you're using your left and your right brain.
Okay.
Um, but that one is more, you have to speak about it, you have to talk about it. Whereas in this one, you're just thinking.
Yeah.
So you don't have to keep repeating the same thing. It's all
Just
in your
all
head.
in your head. You've got the paddle, your eyes are closed, and he's
Yep.
just going over, and just.
Yeah. And then just that vibration's getting your left and your right brain to trigger, and it reprograms you.
Hmm.
And it's that, I mean, uh, that it just blew my mind, how much now it doesn't bother me at all if I don't get stuff done, and I don't
Yeah.
have a super high, you know, you know, expectation of unrealistic expectation of things that I do. So,
Anxiety probably come pretty heavy with that too, right? Not
oh
just the
yeah,
depression and stuff like that, just being anxious all the time and stuff.
yeah, absolutely, and constantly thinking about things that I had. Well, I mean, I don't have control over right now. It's something that's like way in the future. I'm worried about
Right.
that instead of just worrying about, okay, let's deal with today, and then tomorrow let's deal with tomorrow, and then take one day at a time, because that's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
And don't get all wrapped up in things that are you know weeks or months ahead that you can't do anything about right now. And so yeah, it's mental health is, I mean, a lot. It's a lot of people. I think almost everyone deals with it, and that's what.
And it's overlooked. A lot of people don't address it.
No, and when I was policing, like I said, I was concentrated a lot on drugs, but a lot of the users, I talked to them on the way to the jail, try to see what the underlying issue was, because people don't just wake up and decide, yeah, I'm
No.
gonna do heroin or meth. A lot of times people are doing it to numb themselves of something that happened in their life. It's self medication for a mental health issue, almost every single time. And I've actually made well. I'd tell people when I drop them off at the jail, I'd be like, every time I see you, I'm going to check you. And they, sure enough, if I see them walking down the sidewalk, I'd pull in the driveway right in
How
front
you
of
doing?
them, and I'd get up, hey, how's it going? They're like, hey, Rocco, how's it going? It's like, you got any dope on you? And he'd be like, oh, come on, Rocco. And I'd be like, man, I told you. I said I was going to
We'll
check you
check
every
you.
time.
Yeah.
And what helped is I was the only person that held them accountable.
Yeah.
And by holding them accountable, it showed that I actually cared.
Yeah.
Where other people, they just let them do it, do their
Yeah.
thing. You die, whatever, it doesn't matter. I was holding them accountable. So they hated me then, but I mean, I've got a lot of people that I made convicted felons that I'm friends with, and they told me, "Oh, thank you. You're the only person that
Saved their
held me.
life.
Yeah, saved their life. They got their kids back. They got, because I was the only person that held them accountable. Now, so if it takes, keep putting them in jail until they're forced to go into treatment,
Yeah.
then that's what it took. And they realized that, and it's funny because I'll see someone will talk bad about me on Facebook or something. People from back where I used to police, and these people jump right on it. They're
Yeah.
up defending me, like, I mean, and they told me, they said they've lost a lot of friends because how much they've backed me
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But that's just because I treated them like a person.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to see what the deal was, why they were, why they got in the situation they were, and I actually cared. And that's the same way with, I don't know, I, I'm just one of those people, I realized I was going through therapy, I thought I lost my identity. And when I was going through therapy, I realized that, the therapist told me, he said, your identity wasn't that of a sailor. Your identity wasn't a police officer. Your identity is a servant. And once I realized that, I was like, it took a lot of weight off my shoulders because I thought I was a cop. That's
Yeah.
that's what my identity. Well, once I realized I was a servant, because I'm continuing to help people. It doesn't matter whether they're drug addicts or whether they're police officers
You
dealing
wanted
with
to
mental
help them.
health or whatever. I'm just wanting to help people, and I do it because I want to. I don't want people to go through the same issues I do. Um, and if I find a way, if I see a way I can help someone, I absolutely do it. I mean, just like when there's snow and ice on the
Yeah,
ground.
you were out dragging people out of
Yeah,
ditches and
yeah,
taking first responders
yeah,
and hospital workers to work and stuff like that in that sweet Camp Hero truck.
yeah, exactly. And then if I, I've had a few years back when it flooded in Owsley County. Um, Someone had tagged Camp Heroes on something because a lady had posted, she worked for a bank here. She's like, hey, we have 6 pallets of water down at one of the water places, one of the springs places.
Need
And
to
said,
get them there.
yeah, they need to get them there. So someone tags Camp Hero. I don't know why. So, and I was like, yep, we'll do it. So come to find out, had a buddy that had a big box truck in Louisville. We went and picked that up and went down there and got all the water and took it to Owsley County.
Nice.
So, if there's a way I can figure out how to help, I mean, we will do it. And, we do it, and it's all free. None of us get paid.
Yeah.
With Camp Hero, we're 100% volunteer. We have no paid people. So all the people involved with Camp Hero, they do it just because they want to help others, and that's it.
And you guys have a big support crew. We just had a shooting match down there at Camp Hero, and there was all kinds of people on the range. You had just all kinds of people helping.
Oh yeah, and we have a great. Almost all of our staff and volunteers were all vets and first responders, and a lot of them were actually participants at one time.
Yeah.
And they realized how much it helped them, and being able to help gives them a purpose now. It makes them feel good to be able to help other people. So, but yeah, that's and it's almost all funded by we have our annual fundraiser, which is coming
Which
up
is
in
coming up.
2 weeks from Saturday, August 9th. It's at the Campbell House.
Yep, I'll be there.
Yep.
Yep. Man of War's got a table. Speaking of, you'll be raffling something off that night.
Yep. We got a 2023 Harley Pan America, and it's wrapped in Camp Hero camo. So if you don't like it, you can take the wrap off.
Rue, you know what to do. Put that thing up there. Put a link up there so you
Yep.
guys can get a chance in on that raffle. When this comes out, you guys will only have a short amount of time to get those tickets. So be sure to get those tickets. The more money you spend, the more tickets you get. Again, the link will be right in here somewhere where you can purchase those.
Yep.
Yep.
And then also, if you want to come to the fundraiser, because that's where it's going to be, that's where we're going to draw the winner, and the motorcycle will be there. So
where can you find all the details about the fundraiser at?
If you go to campheroky.org,
okay,
there'll be a pop-up.
You got to tell her, say, Rue, put that up there.
Yep, put that right up there. So you go to campheroky.org, and the flyer will be somewhere in here.
Okay.
And it'll have all the information to where you can sign up, get your tickets, and all that other stuff.
Come have dinner with us. What are we having?
Oh, it's a all you can eat.
Ooh, I like those.
Barbecue with brisket and chicken and all that stuff. We have an open bar.
Open bar, you say?
Yep. So Michter's is actually one of our sponsors. They provided all the whiskey.
Okay.
So then they're going to have 2 different old fashions, a regular old fashioned and a maple bacon old fashioned.
Maple bacon. That sounds delicious.
Yeah. So we'll have those, and then we're going to have over 30 guns that we're raffling off.
Is it a silent auction you're having, or is it just...
We're going to have a live auction, silent auction, and raffles.
It'll be a good night.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a good night. So, yeah, like I said, over 30 guns will be raffled.
Over 30 guns.
We'll have some live auction stuff, and then a whole bunch of silent auctions. And even if you can't make it to the event, our silent auction's online.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So you can register on that webpage where the tickets and stuff are, and you can monitor the silent auction
live,
and just bid on it. Everything, all the bids are online, and then you can put a max bid on there. You automatically be notified if you're outbid.
Yeah.
And then if you're not there, we'll make sure we get it to you.
That's pretty neat.
Yep.
So what else does Camp Hero have planned this year?
So we got that going on. Our trip to Arizona.
For the bull elk.
Yeah, for the bull elk. And then, of course, we'll have people out deer hunting.
Yeah.
And so it's, just...
Deer season's coming up.
Yep.
It'll be here for you. I seen you had your food plot out, getting it started the other day.
Yep. Yeah, first Saturday in September is opening day for archery for deer. And we'll be putting out mineral and getting our food plots. Then August 1st, we can start putting out corn and feed, so we'll be doing that.
You got anything good on the game cameras this year so far?
We've got some absolute tanks.
You got those on your Facebook?
Oh yeah,
Rube, put a couple of those up there. Let them see what they're missing out down there at Camp Hero.
Oh yeah. I got some videos posted on there. There's some absolute tanks down there at camp. So when people come out, they come out for 3 or 4 days. We want to make sure they have the best experience possible.
Yeah, and you got a little cabin down there and a camper down there and stuff.
Cabin and a camper, RV hookup. So if you want to bring your own camper, you can bring it down there. But during deer season stuff, we go through about 1,000 pounds of corn a week.
Oh wow, that's a lot of corn.
Yeah, so a pallet of corn will last us about 2 weeks.
No wonder you got tanks down there.
Yeah, so I mean we monitor. We'll have about 25, 30 cell cams out. So when people come down, we'll know where the deer are.
Yeah,
and
you put them right on them.
Yeah. So we're not just putting you out in the middle of the woods.
Here you go. Here's 1,300.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. No. I think I seen one over on the west side.
Yeah. So we want to make sure they have the best experience possible and have the best opportunity of being able to get something, or at least see something. We can't make sure that they shoot straight. So.
Yeah. And then something else I seen, you took a blind guy hunting?
Oh, we had a blind fishing. So we had a visually impaired veterans fishing event.
Right.
So the VIST program from the VA reached out to me, and that's the visually impaired program. Yeah. And they said they have a lot of vets who have lost their vision, and they said they miss being able to fish and hunt, and that's something we could help with. And I said, yeah, absolutely. So we had a fishing event, and we had blind veterans that were fishing, and we had people helping each one. And they told them when they got a bite and everything else, told them when to reel it in, and they're able to experience that too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We're also going to try to have a blind veterans deer hunt.
Now, that'd be cool. I've seen some stuff online about, I don't know the complete setup, but like there's a monitor on the scope, and then there's a straw that goes in their mouth or something like that. I can't remember or something.
Yeah, that's
like
for the paralyzed.
Paralyzed, right? Yeah.
So the one we got is we have digital scopes on our that we can use on our rifles. Then we
Yeah,
can just Bluetooth it to an iPad
that's pretty
or a
cool.
phone, and so we'll have the gun set up in like a bog death
You
grip
can just
tripod, and just tell them up, down, left, right, and tell them when to squeeze the trigger.
yeah,
So that way they can feel the recoil. Then we'll help them get out there, and they can actually put their hands on the deer that they shot.
that's pretty cool.
You know,
And then you just see like a reticle on the iPad or
yep.
something when you're holding it.
See exactly what they're seeing.
That's wild.
So it's all see just like watching a movie.
To tell you yardage and stuff like that on the iPad with that kind of scope.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's pretty neat.
yeah. And I mean, we'll have a feeder out there right in front of them, so we know exactly where the deer are going to be. And
You ever have any of these grown men cry on you when they get to do something like that?
oh yeah, and the thing is, a lot of times, we'll get people out there, and
It's very emotional.
yeah, I couldn't tell you how many people have cried when they're leaving.
Yeah,
When they're saying bye, everyone give it a hug, and their eyes are
just
tearing
had
up,
a blast.
just because they had that brotherhood together, and they just had a great time, and they were able to experience that and just be able to relax and decompress.
And that's what I've heard a lot of military guys say is that they miss like the brotherhood. Like they
Mm-hmm.
come back to civilian life and they don't have the support, they don't have the brothers there, and that's just what they're looking for sometimes.
Exactly, yeah, and that's because everything in the military is so structured, and so who you're with, what you're doing, and then you come here and it's you know they just feel lost, and and we have I'll take 6 or 7 vets, first responders, never met each other in their life,
Yeah,
and they'll come out there,
and just
and oh yeah, within the first hour they're making fun of each other, and within the within 2 hours they're already making fun of each other's families.
yeah,
But by the end of the night, we sit around a campfire and they'll start talking about things they won't even talk to their family about.
yeah,
And because they understand, they know that the people to the left and right of them aren't going to judge them. They know that they understand them, and that they know, that they're going through the same thing. They can trust them, and it's that quick where they feel safe and comfortable, and then out there for a couple of days, and you'd think we've known each other their whole lives,
yeah,
and that helps develop that peer support too. So even when they leave, they still have that contact, and they still reach out to each other, still check on each other, and that's a big thing. I mean, people don't understand how much it means just for someone to text someone and be like, "Hey,
hey, how you
hey,
doing?
hey how you doing?
Thought about you today."
Yeah, yeah, just checking on you, see how you're
Yeah,
doing." Um, because that lets that person know someone cares
yeah,
and they're not alone, and that's what a lot of people just need that. And that's one thing I learned. If I'm thinking about someone, then I should reach out to them. And
I do that myself.
yeah, so there's a reason I'm thinking about them, and especially just out of the blue,
Yeah,
and so I'll just text them and be like, "Hey, just saying hi, what's going on?"
yeah.
You know.
Something else I do, man, is I tell my friends I love
Oh
them.
yeah.
Like even my guy friends, I get off the phone with, "Hey man, I love you. Hope you have a good day."
Oh yeah.
You know.
Me too. And I'm the same way,
Yeah,
and I'm a hugger too.
yeah, I
So
am too.
yeah, so I'm hugging everyone. It'd be the first time
Yeah,
I meet them, I'm hugging
yeah,
them. You know, but that's it lets people know and be like, hey, it's treat them like a brother,
yeah,
and so yeah, it it means a lot, and you see how close, you get the hardest and the toughest of people in the world, and you can see how easy it is for them to break down and get that closeness with each other.
yeah. It gets emotional sometimes.
Yeah, that's I'm just thinking about seeing some of these guys down there, and I've had so many people just come up to me and be like, thank you so much, this meant so much to me, and I'm like, no, thank you for coming out,
Yeah,
because it helps me just as much as it helps them, being able
yeah,
to see them make these memories and be able to smile and laugh and have a good
yeah.
time, and
Reconnect.
yeah, and then there's people that come out there and be like, I haven't smiled in years,
Yeah,
and I said, I've been, this is happiest I've been in years, you know, and it was nothing but just coming out there and hanging out with a bunch of other people out
yeah.
there in the outdoors and
Just
doing stuff.
actually talking to somebody.
Yeah, yeah, and people talking shit and having and cutting up, and just being able to be them and not
Yeah,
have to worry about it.
yeah.
Yeah, just like yeah, just think about it. It's like there's a lot there.
What's your most memorable moment from Camp Hero? Like, what sticks out the most after how many years you've been doing this? You said
It'd be 6 years.
6 years. So
Yeah.
in the 6 years you've been running Camp Hero, what's that 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 feel good moment that sticks with you the most?
Um, there's a lot of them. But I mean, seeing people that I know are like truly struggling, you see them come out there, and it's like all their worries and all their issues are gone. And
They could just leave it all
oh
behind them for
yeah,
the
and
weekend
they
and
and
just
they tell me like as soon as I come down this driveway, I have zero worries. I have no pressure on me. I had all the weights lifted off my
yeah,
shoulders, and because you can go out there, it's just quiet.
it is.
You hear absolutely nothing.
There's no cell phone service, but you got the fastest internet east of the Mississippi.
Yep, absolutely. Uh, yep, we have faster internet to a 160-year-old cabin than I do here in Lexington.
That's wild.
But yeah, that's being able just to see people enjoying themselves and being and benefiting from that. I've had people tell me, because of how camp is, they're like man, like if I had this property, I wouldn't want to share it with others. And I was like, the
That's one of the, yeah.
first thing I thought of when I even saw that property was like, this is freaking amazing. I
I
want to,
can't wait to bring people.
yeah, I
Here.
want to bring people
Show
here
this off
and be able to experience,
Yeah.
what I'm experiencing. And if I could have someone there every single day of the year, I'd be happy because that
Yeah.
means someone's able to enjoy it
Be in that
and be
nature.
able to benefit from it.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know. It'd be like having an endless barrel of money and just
Yeah.
being able to just let people just come pick from it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what Camp Hero is. You just go there and you just be able to benefit from it, and just seeing how people are able to, you know, from the time they get there to the time they leave, just completely change.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's free to anyone. I mean, any vets and first responders, doesn't cost anything.
If you guys are struggling or need any help, you just need a brother to hold on to, somebody to talk to, feel free to
Yep.
reach out to Rocco, Camp Hero.
Yep.
He'll do his best to make you feel like you're at home again.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can't make it out to Camp Hero, I've got tons of resources anywhere, and I can find something close to you that you can benefit from. And
What was that website again, Rocco?
CampHeroKY.org.
So if you guys have any information, you can get a hold of Rocco that way, get a hold of Camp Hero's Facebook page, reach out to Rocco. If you're struggling, reach out. Don't wait.
Absolutely. But I appreciate you having me on here.
No problem, man. It's been an emotional show.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been pretty good. So with that being said, Rocco, we've got our event August the 9th.
Yep.
August the 9th, guys. When this comes out, you guys have just a few days. We'll be up there. We're going to give away that Pan America. Well, not give away. We're going to raffle off that Pan America up there that night. We've got over 30 guns. It's going to be a great night. All you can eat barbecue, the best old fashions.
Yep.
So it's going to be a great time. Thanks again for coming out, Rocco.
Nope,
Again,
thank you.
We always love working with you.
Yep, absolutely. Right. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.